What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Sunnydale Live. Today's episode is Angel. Not the TV show. We're not there yet. Stop. Slow down. No, just kidding. The episode. This is the episode, I think, one of the high bars of the first season. Definitely sets the stage for so much of the show moving forward. Not just this show, but inadvertently lays the groundwork for so much of Angel, the TV show. It's probably, outside of like the pilot, the most important episode of this season. It starts off at the fumigation party, with pre-fumigation party. Let's just be clear. The Bronze, this club bar hybrid thing that is both for high school students and for grown adults, the only one in town, not only serves alcohol to adults and food to minors, but has a pre and post fumigation party every year, where if you kill a cockroach and give it to the bartender, they'll give you free drinks. What the fuck? How does this place pass the food inspection? They sell food there. People eat food there, and they have so many cockroaches that they have yearly fumigation parties. Forget the rest of the show. Forget the rest of the episode. Let's just talk about the fumigation party. Because it's probably like... This is so gross. I don't want to get free drinks by killing cockroaches and giving them to the bartender. And I would never eat there again. That is horrible. Oh... I'm sorry, that part of the episode just always captures my imagination because it is so insane. I understand for the ending of the episode they needed the Bronze to be closed. But a fumigation party, pre and post, and it's an annual thing, is ludicrous. How many cockroaches do you have? How infested is this place? I don't think that's the part of the episode I was supposed to get hung up on, but that is the part of the episode that always boggles my mind and always just has me thinking, like, what the hell is going on backstage? Like, in the kitchen. And people eat that food. The Scoobies eat that food. Why would... Oh my god, it grosses me out. Anyways, I don't think that was the point of the episode. I think that was a throwaway thing in the episode, and... yeah, I'm obsessing over it a little much, but it's weird and gross. We go back to the Master comes back, so it's another episode moving the actual storyline along. He's kind of mentoring the Anointed One. Darla's growing restless, so the Master decides to send the three. And at first we think the three are like these bald biker dudes, and then it turns out no, they're weird vampires and odd get-ups. And they're on the hunt for Buffy. And Buffy leaves because she's feeling down, because she's lonely, and she wants a man. And her and Willow once again talk about relationships, and it turns to Angel and Xander. Buffy's like, Angel doesn't have time for me, and Xander's out on the dance floor acting like a fool, bumping into Cordelia, trading barbs with Cordelia. I know we're not there yet, but I did love Xander and Cordelia. I think one of the missed opportunities of the show was not having them end up together. I think he was better with Cordelia than he was with Anya. And I love Anya. That's my 2 cents. Although I think Cordelia is Angel's soulmate, so I guess it never would have worked out, right? As I know, blasphemy. Especially on this episode, but I said what I said. So Buffy gets attacked by the three, and at first she's holding her own, but they outnumber her. And then Angel swoops in, saves her, and they rush to her house, and she invites him in, and he confirms for her that vampires can't enter her home unless they're invited, which is a big part of the show moving forward, but it's kind of confirmed in a throwaway manner in this first episode. Joyce comes home, and Buffy introduces Angel as her tutor, and Joyce kicks him out, but she sneaks him up into her room, and she's very sweet. She offers him the bed. He declines. So he sleeps on the floor. And it's real cutesy, romantic. There's definitely flirtation going on. He does go like, I'm a lot older than you. It's kind of a little problematic, which, I mean, that's an understatement. She's 16. He's like 240. But we don't know that yet. So Willow's all excited. Xander is like, "What? You let him in your room? He slept in your room? Oh my god, what are you doing?" Like freaking out. Giles could care less, and he's just like, "Let's talk about the three. The Master's coming after you." And they're like, "Well, what do we do about the three?" And Giles is like, "Oh, they're dead. They're gonna offer their life to the Master. He's gonna kill them, but he means it will send someone else after you." And sure enough, the Master lets Darla kill the three, just wipe them out. And then she proposes to get Angel to flip on Buffy. Um, because Buffy goes home from school and Angel's like, I have to. She thinks Angel write her diary. It's a cute little scene, and she's like, no, A stands for this little exchange student, and when I said beautiful eyes or whatever, I meant bulging eyes. Like she just tries to downplay everything and inadvertently tells him everything that was in her diary. And he's like, I didn't read her diary. Your mom moved it. Like I didn't look at it. And she was like, oh, okay. And like so embarrassed. Oh, it's like you feel bad for her. But then he's like, I want to kiss you. And then they kiss. And then her cross touches him and he vamps out and she screams and he runs out. So we now know Angel's a vampire. This is the first time in the series that we're like, oh shit, he's a vampire. We didn't know that before. It's kind of the big reveal in the first season. Buffy's love interest is a vampire. And it's interesting too because she's like, why do you do this? And he's like, because someone has to. And what about your family? Oh, they were killed by vampires. I mean, later, by the end of the episode, he confesses that he murdered his family. Which, when you get to Angel and you see it, it's real like, oh shit, yeah, he took joy in killing his family. Which, when you meet his father, it's understandable. But so Buffy's all freaked out. Giles starts researching. I do love, though, that at one point Willow's like, how do you know everything, Giles? I never know what's going on, but you know everything. And Giles is like, yeah, because I was here for 6 hours this morning researching. It's like, if you opened a book, you would know too. Just like, god damn. No, he's not wrong, though. He's put in all this work. Like, that's why he knows everything. It's his job. He's good at it. But to downplay it like it's just knowledge he has is kind of ludicrous. But so he starts looking up Angel, and he finds out that he was Angelus. He's 240 years old, and he spent like 100 years stomping through Europe, being one of the worst vampires who ever existed. Before, like 80 years ago, coming to the United States and just kind of vanishing. So now it's like, is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? What's going on? Xander and Giles are both like, you gotta kill him. Willow's like, well, we don't know. Buffy doesn't want to. There's all this stuff going on, and it's all this, what's the right thing to do? What is his deal? Who is he? It's a big mystery. And I do love that they keep doing this thing with wordplay and Xander being kind of an idiot. So when Buffy's telling them that she kissed Angel and he turned into a vampire, Xander just yells out, you kissed the vampire? And then Cordelia Oscar goes, what? And they all turn to look at Cordelia. And it turns out she's flipping out because some random girl has the same dress as hers and hers is supposed to be one of a kind. But Xander goes, umpire, you kissed an umpire? Everybody hates umpires. Like in the last episode, or was it the last episode, the episode before? Owen episodes, a couple episodes ago. He was like, how'd the slaying go? I meant, how'd the laying go? Now he's like, you kissed the vampire? You kissed an umpire? It's just so corny and cheesy, but for some reason, I'm so very much the target audience for that kind of humor. It just, every time it gets me. I don't know why. I know I'm lame, but that shit always gets me. I always love that part. Darla, meanwhile, is telling the Master, I can flip Angel. I can get him back on our side. The Master seems to really like Angel, which is never really the case again. Every time we see flashbacks, the Master's very much like, fuck Angel. So the fact that this first time, it's like, oh, he was my favorite. He could have ruled by my side. I mean, I guess like once upon a time, but he's... The Master's obsessed with Darla. That's his favorite. He even says it in this episode. Darla was his favorite. And there's always the sense that Angel stole Darla from him. And so there's like a jealousy thing there. I don't think it's like a romantic jealousy. Like, he was interested in Darla. I think it's just... Darla was his prized pupil. And she chose Angelus over him, and it hurt. And there's definitely a bitterness there. But he agrees to Darla's plan, and she goes and confronts Angel and reminds him he's a vampire, and he's like, I'm nothing like you, I'm different. And she's like, well, tell your little girlfriend about the curse and see if she cares. It was the first time we hear about the curse. We don't really know what it is at this point, but it's the first time they're starting to layer it in that there is something that makes Angel different. He's not like everybody else. Um, so he then tries to go to Buffy's house, but he gets there after Darla, who told Joyce that she was a friend of Buffy's from school and she was there to help her study. And she bites Joyce. Joyce screams. Angel rushes in, saves Joyce. Darla throws Joyce at Buffy and runs. And Angel's holding there, but he's vamped out because the blood is just getting to him. Buffy comes in, throws him out the house, threatens to kill him, takes Joyce to the hospital, and it's like, oh shit, like everything's getting tense. Um, like this is kind of the most exciting, fast-paced episode of the season so far. It's just boom, 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 twist after twist, turn after turn, and there's so much going on. Um, Giles shows up and Joyce is like, why is the librarian coming to visit me? She's like, this is the most amazing school. A student's mother gets sick and the librarian shows up to make sure she's okay. Oh, it's amazing. Earlier in the episode, whenever we found out the master's going after her, Giles is like, Buffy, you have to start training with weapons. It's an amazing scene. He's like, she's like, she wants to learn the crossbow. And he's like, no. You have to learn the bow staff first. He's like, once you master this, then we can move on. But the bow staff is going to take you a while to master. And immediately she kicks his ass with the bow staff. It's pretty funny. And he's just like on his back like, all right, we control with the bow staff. And you see, she's an amazing shot. Like she's boom, knows exactly what she's doing. And so she goes hunting for Angel. And while she's hunting for Angel, Giles finds out that Darla was the one who bit Joyce. So Xander, Willow, and Giles go looking for Buffy. Buffy tracks Angel down to the bronze, confronts him, and you really get the impression that, I mean, Angel fights back a little bit, but you really get the impression he wants Buffy to kill him. Like there's this part of me that's like, oh, this is suicide by Slayer. But then he turns back to his human face, and he's just like, he explains everything to her. And he's like, the curse, when like 80 years ago, I bit a gypsy girl who was about your age, and her family cursed me and gave me a soul, and I remember all the evil I've ever done, and it haunts me. I murdered my own family. Like, he just starts unloading on her all his emotional trauma. He's like, I haven't fed on a human in 80 years. It's not strictly speaking true, but that's for an episode of Angel. Because he's done quite a few things in that 80 years. He fed on a dying human or dead human. He turned a soldier into a vampire. Which brings up a whole bunch of moral questions and kind of interesting things. But that's season 5 of Angel, so that's a long, long way from now when we get to that one. It's actually a really good episode, though. But Buffy puts down her crossbow and exposes her neck. Basically, her telling him, I trust you. Like, she believes him. She trusts him. She still has feelings. I mean, she confessed to Xander and Willow that she's in love with Angel. So those feelings don't just go away. And you can see now that she's starting to trust them. Which is when Darla shows up and starts shooting them because for some reason Darla brought guns. Willow and the others show up and Willow screams out that Darla attacked Joyce to distract Darla. Buffy knocks Darla down. They throw at it. And then from behind, boom, Angel stakes Darla. And you can see that Darla's in shock. She's like, Angelus? And you can even see like Angel's like kind of heartbroken. As much as he cares for Buffy, as much as, you know, he did what he knew to be the right thing, you could tell even now in this early episode that there was a connection with Darla that transcends a lot. Another thing that I find interesting is when Darla confronts him, she's like, remember Budapest, which is the same thing they say on Avengers from Black Widow and Hawkeye talk to each other about. Joss Whedon has an obsession with Budapest. It's just weird. Just thought I would throw that out there. But yeah, Angel just leaves after he stakes Darla because you could tell like he just needs some time alone. It's getting to him. The master flips out. The anointed one, the damn little kid, is like, she was weak. She deserved to die. You'll kill them all. They're all against it. Like, this kid's psychotic. This child vampire is fucking psychotic. Angel shows up at the bronze and Buffy and him talk about how this won't never work. They're just the AIDS difference and her being the Slayer and him a vampire. It's not gonna work out. And then they start kissing, and it's when they're done. He has a cross burned into his chest because she didn't take off the damn necklace. You think she would have learned for the first time, but no, she didn't. But I love this episode. I think this episode is easily one of the top 3 episodes. Like the pilot and the harvest, I guess, kind of 2 episodes. One of the top 4 episodes. Those episodes are brilliant. Prophecy Girl, the season finale, is great, but this is easily one of, if not the strongest episode of the season. We learn so much about Angel. We learn so much more about the mythology. We learn more rules about the vampires. We learn about kind of the hierarchy, and we progress Buffy and Angel's love story. Like the central focus of the first 3 seasons very much is Buffy and Angel and that romance, that Romeo and Juliet quality, and all of that kind of gets defined here. Before it was just kind of an age gap problem. Now it's she's the Slayer. It's her destiny to kill vampires. She's a vampire. They shouldn't work. And it just adds so much more levels and layers to it that for the rest of the show kind of get explored, because even after Angel's gone, then we get Spike. So this episode is the crux on which everything in the show kind of turns. And it's really interesting to go back and rewatch it. And it still holds up. It's a brilliant episode. I'm still tripping out over the fumigation parties, though. The Bronze should probably be shut down by like a health inspector. And what is the rating? Like it can't be like even a C. It has to be a straight F. They have enough cockroaches running around that even after they fumigate the place, people still kill cockroaches and turn them in for free drinks. This is a problem. I'm calling the Sunnydale Health Board. They need to be reported. I don't know. I'm insane. Anyways, for my estimation, one of the best episodes of the season. Till next time, I'm Jonathan, Sunnydale Live.